Magee, thanks a million for calling in here today to the shop to have a word with us. As I say, it's going to be fairly light-hearted, but hopefully informative too, so people can get something out of it. So, as I say, on behalf of everybody here, firstly, thanks a million for calling in.
No problem at all.
So, I suppose, for badminton, how did you get into it at first, or where did it come about from?
Well, in Rafo, there's a small club, and my dad literally ran it since the bottom up. And I think whenever you're younger, there was two clubs. There was a hot club, a badminton club, and there was a boxing club, and that was kind of your social outlet when you come from Rafo. And yeah, I just went along there with my dad every night when I was young, and I loved it. So if I could have played every night, I would have played every night. And he brought me along, and yeah, just all kind of spiraled from there. Right,
and seems to be a whole family thing. You have a couple of brothers too that are heavily involved
yeah.
in it too, and you played doubles with one of them too, and you're quite successful at that.
Yeah, definitely. I think I have to really credit some of my success towards them, because if I wouldn't have my brothers to play against, I don't think I would have ever got as good. So, you know, it's really nice to have a good few people around that's playing a really elite standard, and that it made it nice too, because we grew up together, we played together, and now we're still together.
And you're always very friendly. There's no healthy rivalries there in the way up, was there?
Oh, there definitely was. I think there still is a big who's the best, who's the most successful, comes across in Christmas dinner quite often. So
nice and competitive. I suppose just to give everybody an insight, you know, that maybe doesn't realise you're obviously from Rafo, from Donegal. Where are you based now at the moment? Where do you do your training? Are you living locally, or are you based somewhere else?
I'm full time in Dublin, so literally I come back to Donegal. I come back as often as I can, because I really enjoy coming back, getting out of the city. But full time I'm in Dublin, and then most of my weeks is spent travelling tournaments and this and that. But I'm based in Dublin. I train in Dublin, out in Marino Institute of Education. So that's where we spend all our time, and work out of there.
So training in Dublin, then in terms of, you know, weekly competition, you know, I suppose maybe badminton is slightly different. You know, Rochelle's and Gaelic, you'd have your local leagues at the weekend to play in and things like that. Is that the case with the badminton, or do you have to go elsewhere to find competition?
Yeah, I mean, we actually spar a lot outside the country as well, because luckily for you guys, you know, everything's based in Ireland, but for us, because the setup wasn't very big, it's getting a lot bigger now, but we have to go abroad to get good competition, to better ourselves, to be, like, if you want to be the best in the world, is where we want to be. It's just not in Ireland. So we played league out of Germany, and that's a lot of sparring, and then we play our competitions obviously all over the world. So I mean, there's very few weeks I can say I'm a full week in Dublin, but yeah, it's good. I mean, I enjoy it.
A lot of travelling, so there'll be a huge amount of nationalities. Was there in Germany? Was there playing it, or so you get the mix and match of everything? You know?
It's like a professional league. So I mean, everybody, they'll sign different players every week, kind of. So it's kind of like your football on a smaller basis, but yeah, a lot of international players are playing there, and of course, you know, that's where a lot of them get their money, and that's how badminton survives.
Right. How preparation at the moment? Competitions recently, you very successful there recently at the start of the month there?
Yeah, I mean, it's been going really well this last while. I mean, it was the start of Olympic qualifications, so we wanted to kick off with a good start, and we won in Russia, which was probably my highlight, and I think maybe for everybody else it was the medal in Baku is what the media really picked up on, but I mean, I couldn't have really asked for a better start to the Olympic qualification, and if it keeps going that way, you know, we've really got a good shot at Rio. So, but we need to keep, especially for our mixed, we need to keep winning tournaments, and that's going to be important for us.
So, Olympic qualification, is it granted now, or is there still what is the process involved in that? Or
for badminton, it's 10 tournaments, so you have to have 10 good tournaments within a year. So between May and May, you've got to get 10 really good results.
And can you pick as many you want to go to? Or
you can go to 20 if you want, but usually, as you know, the more you play, the more your performance dips. So you're trying to base your training periods and then go and peak for a tournament, and maybe you'll play 2 in a row and then come back, train. But I mean, it's not easy, because an Olympic year, everybody's playing the tournaments, everybody wants the points, everybody's training the same. So it's about having that little bit of an edge on, you know, what you're doing. Are you tactically better? And I think that's the big key this year, is going to come down to beating people who you're 50-50 with, and whoever wins those games goes to the Olympics.
How is a tournament classified? You say in there you have to have 10 good tournaments. Like, how do you rank a good one? Is there a point system? Or
oh yeah, there's like maybe 5 or 6 different categories. So you could say your super series is your Wimbledons of tennis. You know, that's the biggest ones. You're going to have all the best in the world there, and only the top 28 in the world get into those tournaments. So that's where you'll get your best points. And then you've got your Grand Prix and your challenges. So those 3, winning those, getting well on those is a good step towards the Olympics.
That would have been no bother to you. So hopefully your third Olympics, I mean, like, my God, having 2 Olympics under your belt, like, what's I suppose judging and looking in from the outside and looking on, watching on TVs, and I managed to nip over to the London Olympics just to get a bit of the feel of the atmosphere, like. But what is an Olympics like to compete in, or what is it like? Like, it must be just phenomenal.
It is. I mean, everybody says it's the best experience of your life, but it really is the best experience of your life. I mean, I can't even explain some of the things that just qualifying for it is so hard. Like, I mean, for singles, it's the top 48 in the world. For mixed, it's going to be top 16 in the world. So it's half again, which is even more difficult. And this time I want to try and qualify in both. So I suppose I want to challenge myself a little bit. I mean, we're going to be just in or just out in the mixed and the singles. Hopefully, if I can keep going the way I'm going, I plan to be in Rio. Good. So it's going to be a good year. But I mean, Beijing, I didn't expect to be there at all. I was young. I'd only really been training properly for a year. I went abroad to live in Sweden and I trained there full time. But I mean, I didn't expect to be in Beijing at all. So that was kind of a bit surreal. It was like a rabbit in headlights kind of going over there. I didn't really know what to expect. I was going with a big team. It was very above what I expected. So I didn't really take in Beijing that well. But London, like, I trained to be there. I wanted to be there. Yeah. I'd aimed for everything for London. You know, I was a good athlete. I felt that I was in good shape going there and qualified easily. Felt really good. And I mean, just London was unbelievable. Kind of, it is your home Olympics, you know, all my family were there, and I mean, the atmosphere just blew me away. Yeah, I mean, some of the, like, you know, you travel with a team, and I think this time I really got the benefits of traveling with all these athletes and seeing how they train and seeing what they're doing. So, I mean, I find that very interesting as, in general, like, you know, traveling with the likes of Katie Taylor, the boxers, the pentathletes, you know, the judo players, and seeing, you know, just how they train, what they do.
Do you interact with them as such, like?
Oh yeah, like, I mean, we're all in the village, and you know, everybody just is so different. Like, I mean, I was sharing with one of the judo girls, and the day before she was going to compete, you know, she just doesn't speak to anyone. She's there in her sweatsuit trying to make weight, and you're like, I mean, it's just so different. You know, there's so many different athletes. There's so many different ways of the way they prepare for their events, and you know, I just love that. I mean, I love even seeing everything, you know, like hearing what you guys do to train, hearing what Van Harps do to train. I love all that. I find it very interesting because it's what goes on behind the scenes is what, you know, people don't see that part, and it really is.
You can pick out, I suppose, different wee aspects yourself then, individually that might work for you, or to try them out, or to trial them as such, you know. So. But for an Olympics, like, do you travel over a couple of days prior to your tournament, or do you acclimatise? Do you go for a week early, or what way does it work?
For London, we went actually 2 or 3 weeks before, and we trained in London. We just spent a time in a training camp in Lanesbury before we went into the village, and most of the team did that. Some go away to their own training camp, so everybody prepares differently. But it depends, you know, we had a really good setup in Lanesbury, our own hall. Nobody was really going to come in, so it was private. You know, we could do our training, work hard, there was no distractions. And that's perfect for us. Went into the village and it was good. So different teams prepared differently, but that's how we decided to do it, and we brought in our own sparring and worked well.
Right. Is there many in the Irish badminton team? Like, what many would actually go in your team? Would it be?
Well, in the Olympics there was just myself and Scott.
Right.
And he's a guy from Dublin, and that was only 2 that qualified the last time. This time we hope that Sam will also be there, and then we'll travel with our coaches and our managers, so keep us right.
exciting times. Well, I suppose, like, a couple of key pointers maybe you can help, I suppose, us all with. You know, I know we travel quite a bit when we're training and we're playing. You know, whether it's the athlete that's maybe going to travel from their house to their local club, or for maybe people that's travelling to Dublin to go to compete, or people who's travelling over to England to go to compete. You know, you seem to be travelling to Germany. You know, hopefully we're going to Rio. You've travelled to Baku, everywhere. You know, how can you give a couple of tips of how you actually balance travel with competing? You know, because obviously there's a lot of, you know, kind of, I suppose, permutations involved in trying to keep your body right.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was just saying, travel is like one of the things that I find the hardest to deal with. I mean, there's so many things involved, especially if we're going long distance. You're dealing with, like, you know, your legs, just everything builds up. So for me, nutrition obviously is key. You need to be well hydrated.
Do you bring your own, or do you take the airplane food?
No, I mean, I bring my own because my immune system would be quite low, so I need to keep everything right, especially the few days that I'm travelling. It's key for me to have all my right stuff with me. Of course, the airplane food it's not the best, but you know, if you have everything with you and you keep hydrated, you can definitely get through the flights okay. And then I also wear recovery pants because that keeps, you know, just keeps your legs that small percentage more. And then the foam roller is like your best friend when you're travelling. So those 3 things, I mean, I'm always on the foam roller because simply I'm quite stiff in my body, and if I can keep my lower back and my glutes quite loose, I mean, I'm much better. So you're always sitting like this, you just need to stretch and foam rolling, and then the recovery pants I've felt have helped me a lot.
Yeah, because it is the case, you know, there's a lot of, if it's team sports or individual sports, we're stuck in the back of a car, the back of a bus, and we're cramped onto quite, you know, narrow seats at times that, you know, just as you say, do them small things like wearing the compression, I suppose, to keep the blood flow going as much as possible, and just even to get up and stand and move around the bus can be a big help, and help overcome the travel. But I suppose really that's really it, you know. Just like again on behalf of the whole shop here, to thank you a million for coming in. I want to wish you all the very, very, very best now coming up, and no doubt you'll have all the support from us all here in Donegal and the whole of Ireland, and no doubt you'll do everybody proud. So thanks a million again.
Thank you, Michael.
All right.